Hello, I'm Tim Rogers. You are watching Kotaku.com. Both myself and Kotaku.com's Kirk Hamilton have played the entirety of Sony's new game, God of War. I played it twice. It's a big and beautiful game featuring a touching story about antiquity's beefiest atheist and his tiny innocent son. You probably don't need our help whether to buy it or not, though in case you did,
do it.
It rules. Now that that's out of the way, here's 20 things we wish we'd known before starting the game. This video will be spoiler-free. We won't show anything that Sony hasn't shown in the trailers, and we won't talk about the story at all. If you'd rather go in blind, that's what I did, so I respect that. Just mute this video and then open another tab so that all of the ads play. Number 1. Catch up on Kratos' story. God of War 2018 is not a reboot. It is a direct sequel to God of War 3. If you've never played a God of War game, this just so happens to be a perfect place to start. You can sympathize with Kratos' son Atreus. Though if you'd like to know more than a dumb little baby child, try watching a plot summary video on YouTube, like this nice one that IGN did last week. Thanks, IGN! Number 2. If you're on a PlayStation 4 Pro, play in Favor Performance mode. If you, like me, own a big fancy 4K HDR TV, maybe you're thinking what I was thinking. I paid for this TV, so I want to see all 4 of those Ks. Feel free to check it out, though if you switch to Favor Performance, you may never go back. You're going to want all the frames you can get to master the hyper-precise high-speed combat. Number 3. Turn on the subtitles. That font is way too small, though if you've never read an entire book on Norse mythology, how else are you going to learn how to spell Jormungandr? Number 4. Start on the Give Me a Balanced Experience difficulty level. You can change the difficulty during the game whenever you want, though I gotta say, the Give Me a Story difficulty setting is a little bit way too easy. This series is famous for hard action, so you've gotta at least try it on the medium setting. Don't listen to me though. I'm playing on Give Me God of War, and my neighbors are terrified. If you live in South Brooklyn, New York, and you heard someone shout, "What?" at 2:08 a.m. last night, that was me. If stuff starts to feel a tiny bit too easy, maybe that's because you've unlocked a lot of skills. The game starts you with barely any. Feel free to unlock a bunch of skills and then turn up the difficulty. Consider your brief excursion into lower difficulty sort of like a fast forward to skills. Number 5. Listen to your son. He may yet be a baby who knows nothing compared to his huge daddy. Though Atreus' childish impatience and eagerness to continue the journey translates to his always pointing out what is probably the fastest path through an environment or solution to a puzzle. If you want to solve a puzzle before your boy can say, "Hey, what's that over there?" Well, number 6. Look up. True 21st century AAA action-adventure video game likers have these 2 words tattooed figuratively on the insides of their eyelids. If a door doesn't open, look up. There's probably something to throw your big axe at. I mean, this sounds like really generic, though. It's like I've played Uncharted, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4, The Last of Us. I've played a lot of these 3D AAA games, and somehow, sometimes I still just forget. Look up, look up, look up, man, just keep looking up. Number 7. Don't sweat the gear. Just because there's a shop doesn't mean you need to give it your money. I'm not condoning shoplifting, by the way. You're gonna find a freak load of gear everywhere you go. Give the game a little time to breathe before you start flopping over cash and clinking down coins on these dwarven workbenches. Though also, if you want to spend. What I'm saying is just chill about the gear for a couple hours. When it's time to start min-maxing, you'll have already started doing it subconsciously. Number 8. Accept your axe. Definitely upgrade your axe as soon as you have an axe upgrade item. Do this every time. Number 9. When a dwarf asks you to do something, you should do it. Each of the 2 dwarf brothers has a curious errand they ask of you. These are rewarding, optional quests that come up at parts of the story where stuff has slowed down a bit. You should do them, unless, like me, you want to speed through the story before your jerk neighbor ruins the big plot twist. If there is one. I'm not saying there is a big plot twist, just that I thought there was a big plot twist, and I didn't want anyone to spoil it for me. Number 10. Open these. If you've seen one of these chests that look like someone tried to spell PlayStation 4 system architect Mark Cerny's name without any vowel-shaped chisels, you absolutely have the ability to open them. You need to find and smash or trigger 3 little pottery-looking broken things. Just stop what you're doing and play a little hidden object game for a minute. You definitely want the stuff that's in here, and if you don't get it, you're gonna come back for it later and feel a little bit stupid when you do so. Number 11. You have a boat! Nobody can tell you what to do when you have a boat. That's a fact in real life, though also in this game. No one can attack or hurt in Boat Kratos. Just row the darn thing around. If you see a barrel, smash over it. This isn't Sea of Thieves. The boat does not take damage. There's all sorts of stuff in the water. Just take it, man. If you see some dew droplets hanging and dangling down tantalizingly beneath a root of the world tree, suck it down, dude. Put it in your mouth, and it will give Kratos permanent status upgrades. Just do that dew, dude. Real dew has only permanently downgraded my status. Number 12. I'd better let Blacksmith Brother Brock handle this one.
And whatever you do, never, ever, ever.
Number 13. Use your XP. You will get literally millions of experience points before the end of the game. Don't be a dumb, old-school old man like me, refusing to open the menu of this hardcore action game until you have tens of thousands of points. Just get in there as soon as the game tells you to. In my second playthrough, I bought all the melee axe skills first. You're pretty much only playing a demo of God of War until you have all of those melee axe skills. IMO. Number 14. Practice your combos. You'll have plenty of opportunities to stand around for a couple of minutes in God of War's beautiful 3D environments and just swing that Big Daddy axe. Some of the combos have intricate timing. For example, some intermediate axe skills unlock combos that become available if you pause after an individual strike. During the pause, Kratos shifts stance, activating a window in which he can execute this different, riskier combo. I call these air holes, or flex holes. Also, there are some moves where you can retrieve the axe and then attack with it again instantaneously. These are pretty powerful and also really tricky, so you'll want to play with the timing of these. Number 15. Read the skill tree. Yes, the font is tiny, so you're gonna want to stand up and walk over to the TV. Or, if you have a bar stool, slide it over. Peruse this thing. Read about all the places Daddy's axe is going to go. Watch these demo GIFs here. Engage your imagination. Think of the future while you fight in the present. Number 16. Use your abilities. That's what they're for. When I was 9 years old in 1988, I knew the phrase radio jammer because of Metal Gear. 9-year-olds in 2018 know the word cooldown because of esports. You have talismans, runic attacks, and your son Atreus' arrows and summons. All of these have just barely muscle memorizable cooldown timers. This is one of the reasons I would suggest not turning on the immersive HUD mode until you've kind of gotten a handle on the way those work. Atreus' arrows have tiny, short cooldowns. Everything else is in a ballpark between 30 and 90 seconds. Seriously, don't be shy about using this stuff. Just, use it whenever you can. Really. Number 17. I know a lot of players aren't excited about having a child for a sidekick, though I promise you, this game ain't no babysitting simulator. Seriously, Atreus rules. His arrows are pretty plinky at the beginning of the quest, though soon enough, Daddy's hard lessons will take hold and the kid becomes hecka tough. His arrows can push enemies' stun meters up quickly. You can fine-tweak the aim for precision, though if you don't have time for that, and you don't always do, just aim the camera in a helpful direction and slam that square button to squeeze off 3 arrows every time his quiver is cooled down. Just be mindful and keep him shooting, and that little chippy damage will add up fast. Number 18. Kratos' fists are tough. When Kratos throws his axe, he has to fight with his fists. Actually, we shouldn't say has to. His fists are a weapon in themselves. They have their own skills and combos. I love this spinning shield bash. With the follow-up, hyper knockbacky concussive blast. Again, read that skill tree, unlock those skills, and practice those combos. Though, focus on the axe first. Number 19. I was born stupid. You don't have to listen to me if you don't want to. Number 20. I will not die hungry. By which I mean you can just do what I do, which is play the game and have a good time. Seriously, unlock your melee axe skills right away though. Video games forever, Kotaku.com.